Let's have a look at a multi-year flow rule in eFlow Projector. Log into the app now. Let's have a look at our base scenario here. We'll scroll through, find the site that we want to apply the multi-year flow rule to. So we're at read 5 in Latrobe. So this is a discharge flow rule. Click that to add it. It'll pop up at the bottom here. I'm going to call this a multi-year flow rule example. Okay, so what we've got here is our range of different flow rules. So this is going to be a multi-year freshers that we're looking at here. So the idea with the multi-year flow rule is to capture those typically large events that you don't necessarily need to occur every year, but let's say we want a decent high flow event maybe once every 2 or 3 years, or maybe a high flow event that you want to have, let's say 3 out of every 10 years. So um, let's say our prevailing season that we care about here, it's the whole year that we want to try and assess. So we'll go from January to the end of December. And the number of years that we're considering here, so let's say we want to consider a 10-year period, and we want to get, let's say we want to get 3 events over that 10-year period, but we don't want those events to be more than 3 years apart. So the maximum time between any event shouldn't exceed 3 years. So that might be important, for example, for refilling water holes or the like that might dry out in that period. So what we've got here are essentially the same types of parameters we've got for a freshers flow rule. So this might be a nice big flow of, let's say it's going to be 13,000 megalitres a day, and we want it to go for 5 days. And how many events did I say? 3. Independence is a bit of a moot point here. Let's just say it's 7, and let's just put that the same for all of those criteria. What was my duration? 5 days, 3, and we can fill that all the way through. 3, 7, same for the average condition. 13,000 megs a day for 5 days, 3 of them, at least a week apart. And there you've got a multi-year freshers. So what we're going to look for is 3 events over a 10-year period, and none of those events should be more than 3 years apart. There's a bit of a difference here in the way that you deal with the partial success parameters. So these are just the silly default ones on linear, but we've got an additional max time partial success as well. So once we've said the maximum time should be 3 years apart, we can set some local parameter around that. But more on partial success tables in a subsequent video. So that's multi-year freshers.